In May of 2023, in South Korea, 23-year-old Jung Yoo Jung stabbed a young woman over 100 times to death. She did so to experience what it would be like to murder somebody, inspired by true crime. But before we get any further, hello, and welcome to the Murder House Radio Show. I'm your host, X. On this show, we will be covering serial killers, disappearances, true crime, and the most deplorable things and people in history. Uploads will take place every Friday at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and hit the bell notification to get all notifications, and hit the follow button if you are listening on a podcasting platform. With all that out of the way, sit back, grab some coffee or whatever your preferred beverage is, turn down the lights, and enjoy the show. 23-year-old Jung Yoo Jung is a Korean woman whom lived with her grandmother in South Korea. She was described as an unemployed loner. Jung had an obsession with true crime shows, novels, and podcasts. Her motive for this attack was, and I quote, trying out a murder. So, I don't think you should be listening to true crime podcasts if you're this volatile. That's just my opinion, though. Who am I to judge? Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be listening to me. She also scored high on the psychopathy test. For many months, she used apps to try and meet people to find victims. This seems like a common thread, especially nowadays, so be careful who you meet online. Vet them properly, and if you're a parent, watch who your kids are talking to online. I can't urge that enough. Especially if you're an avid listener of true crime, that should be drilled into your head by now. She contacted over 50 people until she met her victim. The victim's identity has not been disclosed due to personal security reasons for her family, I would assume. Jung posed as a mother seeking an English tutor for her daughter. And all this led up to the one fateful night when Jung showed up to the 26-year-old victim's house. She was dressed in a school uniform. The house was located in Busan, South Korea. The tutor let her in to her home, where she was almost immediately attacked. She was stabbed over 100 times. She continued to stab the victim even after she had passed. It's very hard to survive multiple stab wounds, let alone 100. She then proceeded to dismember the victim. She then proceeded to call a cab and dumped some of the remains in a remote parkland near the river north of Busan. Jung was arrested after her cab driver reported her for having a bloody suitcase and dumping it. This just goes further to show her mental state. She didn't even think to, hide the blood on the suitcase, possibly her clothes. And why would she call a cab? Walk the body? I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense. A very terrible mental state. Not even my opinion, it's just a fact. Anyway, the police said that her online search history showed she had been searching for months on how to kill and dispose of a body. Also, you probably shouldn't be searching this stuff up online if you're gonna go ahead and do it. Just some food for thought. Anyway, they also said she was careless, obviously. She didn't try to avoid CCTV cameras, which caught her leaving the victim's house several times. Not to mention the whole cab driver incident, like I mentioned. Jung confessed and pled guilty to the crimes. In June, in hopes of a more lenient sentence, she also said she suffered from hallucinations and mental illness, which I would think is obvious. Relatively obvious, anyway. This was obviously rejected because of the planning that went into the crime. That is also true, but wasn't very good planning, if I may add. She also switched her statement multiple times. One thing, if you're ever getting interrogated for anything, doesn't even have to be murder. Don't switch your statement and ask for a lawyer. Just some advice right there. She first said someone else killed the victim, and then she moved her. Then later, she said that the killing happened as a result of an argument. In the end, Jung was sentenced to life in prison. Korea still has the death penalty, but no executions had been carried out since 1997. It's a little fun fact for you. But yeah, I've heard of this case before, quite a while ago, and it's just kind of been sitting in my notes here for quite a while. Quite a while. It's definitely an interesting case, but mental illness can be a crazy thing. And then it also flabbergasts me on how careless some people can be. And I also wonder what steps and what could have prevented this tragedy from taking place in the first place, you know what I mean? But let me know what you think down in the comments below. However, there is not much more to this case that I could find while researching. If you have anything further, let me know down in the comments below, as always. But yes, also, if you're suffering from mental illness and having thoughts of harming yourself or others, or just need someone to talk to, reach out to a therapist or a mental health line. It's always a good idea. It may not seem like it at the time, and treatment might suck. I've never been through it myself personally. It might suck, but you might be better off with it at the end of the day instead of, murdering somebody. But yeah, that is the case of Jung Yoo Jung. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Murder House Radio Show. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share for more if you are viewing on YouTube. Leave recommendations for future episodes in the comments. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to get all notifications. If you are listening on a podcasting platform, hit follow, and it doesn't hurt to give a 5-star review. I hope you have a good rest of your day. This is your host X, signing off.